Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Administration and Public Works Committee meeting of Monday, December 8th. And if Director Kano would like to call roll.
Yes. Councilmember Sufferton? Here. Councilmember Davis? Here. Councilmember Kelly?
Here.
Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Councilmember Isles?
Here.
Councilmember Newsbaum?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. And virtual participation. And we'll move to public comment. We have one public comment. Tina Payton.
Good evening. The original Foster School at 2010 Dewey opened up its doors in 1905. This school was the only place where many black residents of the Fifth Ward were allowed to attend school. After closing the school in 1967, in an attempt to desegregate the schools, a magnet school, King Lab, was opened in 1969. While white students were bused in to go to the school, black students were bused out. Finally, King Lab closed around 1978, and I had to attend Skiles to finish school, now the current home of King Arts. In 1982, Family Focus began leasing the building, and in 1984 acquired the property through donation. In 2018, the Family Focus building was declared a landmark. In 2022, Family Focus received $3 million ARPA funds from the city for remodeling. According to an article with Daily Northwestern, in 2023, Family Focus also received $1.13 million from Jan Chakowski's office and another $1 million from the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, which totals a little over $5 million for remodeling. Also, the article states renovations would be around $12 million and were set to finish by the end of 2026, around the same time as the Fifth Ward School. It appears Family Focus did not have any plans on remodeling, but holding out with the city of Evanston in order to create an eminent domain situation like the Henry Butler building on Emerson Street, which was also a landmark building and torn down to make way for the NU City Research Park and decimated the black neighborhood. Family Focus has 11 locations throughout Illinois, including Evanston. The city should not be paying its bills. This should go before the joint meeting with the Preservation Committee, Reparations Committee, and Equity and Empowerment to ensure fair, equity, and transparency for this community. Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Payton. And this is not on the APW agenda this evening, but it is on council agenda, just so you're aware of that. Okay, we'll now move any items that council members would like pulled off.
A15 and A22.
I'm sorry, A15 and A22.
Yes, please.
A12.
A12. Any others? Sorry. So if there are no other items, we'll be removing items A12, which is the approval of a contract award with Garland for the main library roof replacement, and A15, which is the approval of a contract with Echo Lighting, and A22, which is the approval of a contract with Axon Enterprise. All in favor of the consent agenda minus those?
We need a motion, and I will move approval of the consent agenda minus items A12, A15, and A22.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor? Can we do a voice?
Yeah.
A voice,
Aye.
all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Sufferton and Councilmember Sufferton Davis. Are you in favor to
Aye.
approve the consent agenda minus those items? Okay. Great. Okay, and now we need to, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second, November 24th, 2025 minutes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, none opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Okay, with that, would someone please move item A12?
I'll move item A12.
Second.
We'll let Chrissy second.
Item A12 has been moved and seconded. Councilmember Davis.
So I just wanted to make a comment that I checked because I still think that we have to decide how we are going to collaborate with the library with regards to repairs. And I was kind of hoping that this would be, these type of decisions we made after our IGA. But I understand that this is urgent, so I plan to vote in favor of it. But I'd like to emphasize that I would like that done pretty soon. On a similar note, to reiterate the concern that regarding what we're going to do with our Civic Center or how we're going to combine police and fire headquarters, we should be making progress towards planning that and then keeping that in mind when we dispose of and renovate the buildings that we currently have. Because I do remember there was a proposal on the table to use part of the library for Civic Center or police fire headquarters or whatever else we were kind of thinking about. So those are the only two things that I wanted to make a comment about. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? I also want to reiterate my interest in figuring out what structure we're going to move forward with regard to the library and the relationship with the city. I'm also concerned that the roof has needed repairs now for a really long time, and that there's been such a lapse in time. And I think that needs to be examined why that happened, so it doesn't happen again. And I sent this in as a question. I haven't had time because it was just this afternoon. If an answer came back as to how the bonding would be financed, is there somebody here?
Good evening, Chair and the members of the committee. Hitesh Desai, Chief Financial Officer. So whenever we issue the bonds, and we would they would pay the prorated debt service for their share. So if they get $1 million out of, say, $20 million bond, that proration debt service will be paid by library every year.
Okay, so it's 1.9 million we're looking at, I think?
I mean, right now it's $2 million, it's 50-50 share. City would be around $950 or $1 million, and the library share would be $1 million. But when I'm talking about the overall bond issue, like when we issue the bond, say in March, April, May, whenever, depending on the interest rate environment, and if they have other needs, otherwise, I mean, it's always prorated, whatever their share is.
But the bond for the roof for the library is 1.9 million. But you're saying it's a 50, that's the cost, right?
Yes, but it's half of them in the library part, half of the city share. Yeah, if you read the memo
Right.
towards the end,
So-
it says the 950 is the city portion, 950 is the library.
Of the library project.
you're right.
So we're picking up half the
Yes.
tab, and then the library will pay the financing for half of the bond.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay. With that, any other comments? Okay, voice vote, all in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, that's approved. We now move to item A13. Would someone like to move
I take
A13?
15.
A13, right?
15.
Oh, I'm sorry, A15.
Yeah, so I will move item A15, which is approval of a contract award with Eco Lighting Services and Technology LLC for the 2025 Lighting Modernization Project in the amount of $194,300.
Second. Councilmember Davis? No.
And I just had a quick question for staff, which we corresponded on earlier today, but it appears that there may be some ComEd incentive programs available. And we, I guess, intend to apply for these grants, but we can't do the project until we know about the grants. What's the timing there? Is there enough time to get grants if they're available?
Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Chris Sousa. I'm the Assistant City Engineer. With regards to the timeline for ComEd, I believe you have to apply 90 days in advance of when the construction is expected to work, and that agreement with ComEd has to happen in advance of any proposed construction. So there is a timeline in which we can meet. We have to move forward in that direction to identify, because ComEd will reimburse you based on how much energy savings you're doing. So for example, if one of the lights are 400 wattage and you bring it down to 250, you're reimbursed accordingly. So we still have to identify as staff what we have in our GIS system or infrastructure, and then we'd apply at one time based on all of the fixtures that we plan on replacing to get reimbursed at that time.
Right. And so we do have enough time, if we approve this contract tonight, we have enough time to apply for the ComEd grant.
It seems as if that's the case,
Okay.
because we applied for a similar one for our LED streetlight fixtures,
Okay.
in which we applied ahead of time. So as long as it's done in advance of the project being started, that's the expectation we have.
And you don't need separate council approval to apply for that grant.
No, because it's fully reimbursable. I don't think we're putting forth any money towards it. It's simply a reimbursement in the amount of that.
Great. And any idea how much we might be reimbursed?
We have to wait because it depends on what fixture we're replacing and the difference that we're actually saving.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further.
Great. Councilmember Davis?
I wanted to know, it wasn't clear to me if we were just switching, why we were changing this, making the change to the lights. So is it that the lights are in disrepair, or is it that we believe that the new lighting system will be more efficient?
So staff did go and get an electrical engineer's opinion as to which lights were underperforming or not as efficient, and these were the ones that were recommended, the southern half of the lakefront and the various parks that were identified. And the intent is just to replace those fixtures to more high efficiency one, both to take advantage of the cost savings and then potentially the reimbursable amount.
Okay.
So
and
that's
so is the hope that this will it save us money in the long term? Or
it will save us money in the long term, as well as provide additional, the LED fixtures are naturally more brighter, so it'll obviously provide more lighting along the lakefront and throughout the parks.
okay, thank you.
Great. Okay, any other comments? Okay, with that, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Okay, that motion passes. We move to item A22. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, A22, right?
Yeah. Item A22. I move item A22, which is approval of a contract with Accent Enterprise Incorporated for the Evanston Police Body-Worn Camera Program. I move that we advance this to council with the neutral recommendation and save the debate until we get to council.
Second.
And no discussion? Okay, then with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, none opposed? Okay, that will move to council, A22, with a neutral recommendation. I think that brings us to the end. So, we have to move to adjourn now. No, adjourn. Okay, council will begin at 5:30. So, okay, thank you very much.